for Group D. In the 24th match of this World Cup, South Africa beat New Zealand by 7 wickets. A comprehensive victory for South African. Yes, batting first, New Zealand scored 175 for the loss of 7 wickets, and in reply, South Africa achieved the target for the loss of 3 wickets, winning the match by 7 wickets with 17 balls remaining. And this is 353 runs were scored in this match, and this is the highest match aggregate involving South Africa and New Zealand in men's T20 World Cup. On the other hand, Quinton de Kock, man with the gloves, yes, 33 dismissals, the most by a wicketkeeper in the men's T20 World Cup, going past MS Dhoni of India. Okay, Marco Jansen and South Africa's statement win. And South Africa will bring Corbin Bosch back. New Zealand versus South Africa T20 World Cup. Highlight Jansen and Makram personal best. Lead route of New Zealand. South Africa and New Zealand bring the love to low stakes when in times they clash. Rob Walter backs New Zealand T20, says overseas star could make competition stronger. But now, looking at the scorecard, where New Zealand batting first, scored 175 for the loss of 7 wickets. In their stipulated 20 overs, they scored their runs at 8.75 runs per over, and the first wicket fell at 33. Tim Seifert was the first man to go, scoring only 13 of 9 balls, hitting 1 4 and 1 6. Caught by wicketkeeper Quinton de Kock of the bowling of Marco Jansen. Yes, Marco Jansen was brilliant today, and he captured 4 wickets first. Tim Seifert, and then second wicket at 57 in the 6th over. Rachin Ravindra out, scoring only 13 of 8 ball. He also hit 1 4 and 1 6, but could not carry on. He was scored by Miller of Marco Jansen. The 1 run later, they lost their 3rd wicket, which is Finn Allen, and he was out, scoring 31 of 17 balls, hitting 4 fours and 2 sixes. Look at his strike rate, 122. But unlucky, he could not capitalize on the start he gets, and was out, scoring only 31. Caught by Makram of the bowling of Marco Jansen. The 4th wicket, 6 runs later, lost Glenn Phillips when there were 64 runs on the board in the 7th over, and he was clean bowled by Keshav Maharaj, and he made only 1 run. Then they had a partnership which took their total from 64 to 138 between Daryl Mitchell and Mark Chapman, and Mark Chapman was the 5th man in the 14th over, and he was the 5th man to be out, 2 runs short of his half century, scoring 48 of 26 balls, hitting 6 fours and 2 sixes with a strike rate of 185. Ryan Rickleton took a brilliant catch of Marco Jansen, and the 6th at 141. Daryl Mitchell was out, down the ground, caught by Ryan Rickleton, caught by Tristan Stump of the bowling of Lungi Nigidi, who intelligently disguised his slow run and deceived the batsman playing big shot, and he was caught by Stump. He made 32 of 24, hitting 2 fours and 1 6. The 7th at 145. New Zealand captain Mitchell Santner in the 17th over departs, scoring only 4. Once again caught by Rickleton of the bowling of Corbin Bosch. In the end, Jimmy Neesham with 23 of 15, hitting 3 fours, and Matt Henry with 9 remain unbeaten as New Zealand finishes with 175 for 7. The bowling performance of South Africa. Lungi Nigidi, I think he is the best bowler in this format so far in this tournament, as he is very economical and he is very intelligent. He mixes his variety, his slower one, bouncer. Lungi Nigidi, 4 overs, 34 runs and 1 wicket with 8.50 runs per over. And Kagiso Rabada, 4 overs, 27 runs and no wicket. Marco Jansen, 4 overs, 40 runs, but he captured 4 wickets, and that was the reason they restricted New Zealand to 175. Keshav Maharaj, 3 overs, 24 runs and 1 wicket. Corbin Bosch, 4 overs, 34 runs and 1 wicket. And Aiden Makram bowled just 1 over, but he was expensive. He conceded 15 runs in that over. Now chasing a target of 176, South Africa had a brilliant start as they scored 83 runs in the first power play, taking full advantage of the field restriction, scoring 83. They lost their first wicket in the 5th over, and Quinton de Kock was the first man to go, but he made 20 of only 14, hitting 3 fours and 1 6. Bowled by Lockie Ferguson. But from there onward, another 40 runs were added in just 3 overs, and Ryan Reckleton was the second man to go. South Africa were 102 in the 8th over, and Reckleton out scoring 21 of 11, hitting 2 fours and 1 6. Caught by Darren Mitchell of the bowling of Jimmy Neesham, the third at 131. 29 runs later, they lost David Brevis. No need for throwing his bat as they were cruising, but the youngster was out scoring 21 of 17, and he was caught by Mitchell of Rachin Ravindra. In the end, Aiden Makram, the captain leading from the front, remained unbeaten on 86 of only 44 balls, hitting 8 fours and 4 sixes. And look at his strike rate, 195, and he was very well supported by David Miller, the finisher, who made 24 of 17, hitting 1-4, and finishes off the match with a brilliant deep mid-wicket 6, and South Africa winning the match by 7 wickets. Yes, they scored 178 for 3 in 17.1 over. Now the bowling performance of New Zealand: Matt Henry, 4 overs, 38 runs and no wicket. Lockie Ferguson, 3.1 overs, 33 runs and 1 wicket. Jacob Duffy, oh my goodness, very expensive. 50 runs he conceded in only 3 overs, and his economy was 17 runs per over. Very poor bowling performance by Jacob Duffy. Mitchell Santner, the captain, 4 overs, 33 runs and no wicket. Jimmy Neesham, 2 overs, 15 runs and 1 wicket. And Rachin Ravindra, 1 over, 9 runs and 1 wicket. But Jacob Duffy, poor performance, along with Matt Henry, who also conceded 38, and Lockie Ferguson. 3 premier fast bowler conceded almost 110 runs from their how many overs? 10 overs. So they were very expensive. So now the difference between the two teams, as New Zealand scored 58 for the loss of 3 wickets in the first power play, but here 83. Huge difference between New Zealand and South Africa. South Africa were 25 runs ahead of New Zealand and have lost only 1 wicket as compared to New Zealand 3. In the middle part of the inning, New Zealand added another 85 for 3, and here they scored 79 for 2. 13 runs per over in the first power play by South Africa, then gradually they decreased to almost 8 runs. In the final 4 overs, New Zealand added 32. Yes, that was the reason they could not finish on high note. They should have added another 20 runs over here, 175 plus 195. I think they missed there in the final 4 overs. On the other hand, South Africa needed only 16, which they achieved without any loss. 7 sixes were hit by New Zealand and 8 by South Africa. 18 fours were hit by New Zealand and 15 by South Africa. 114 runs were scored in boundaries by New Zealand and 108 by South Africa. Yes, 74 runs, 5th wicket partnership between Darren Mitchell and Mark Chapman of New Zealand was the only significant partnership. 31 runs were scored by Darren Mitchell and 43 of only 23 by Mark Chapman. On the other hand, look at the start. 62 of only 28, 6.4 overs, and they were 62 on the board. 20 of 14 by Quinton de Kock and 41, my goodness, of only 14 balls by South African captain Aiden Makram. Another 40 runs partnership of 3 overs between Aiden Makram, who scored 18 of 7, and Ryan Reckleton, who made 21 of 11. And then they had 29 for the third wicket, and 47 unbroken partnership match winning. In the end, David Miller 24 of 17 and Makram 20 of 16. South Africa won the match by 7 wickets. So player of the match was Marco Jansen. 4 for 40 was his brilliant bowling performance. Now points table, where South Africa are now at the top from Group D. South Africa and New Zealand both have played 3 matches each, and South Africa are winning all 3 matches and have 6 points with a net run rate of 1.47. The next assignment will be an easier, which will be against UAE, their last match of this league. And then New Zealand have 3 matches they have played, 1-2, and have lost today's match, which means they have 4 points, and their net run rate is -0.70. Their next assignment will be against Canada. United Arab Emirates, they won their match and they have 2 points, then followed by Afghanistan, who are eliminated, and Canada also lost both of their matches. So this is today's match where South Africa beat New Zealand by 7 wickets. We wish all the team best of luck. And on this note, we come to the end of the show. Till the next program, it's goodbye from Sports 360.